نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم اما بعد فاعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبالوالدين إحسانا صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الأمين المختار الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاکرین والحمد للہ رب العالمین۔ انتہائی محترم مکرم میرے بزرگوں، نوجوان ساتھیوں، عزت مآب میری ماؤں اور بہنوں، آئیے ہم اور آپ مل کر انتہائی احترام و عقیدت اور محبت کے ساتھ آقا نامدار ہم سب کے تاجدار حضور خاتم المرسلین رحمت للعالمین کی بارگاہ میں اپنی محبتوں کا نذرانہ پیش کرتے ہوئے درود پاک کا ہدیہ پیش کریں اور پڑھیں۔ اللہم صلی علی سیدنا و شفیعنا و مولانا محمد معدن الجود والکرم و آلہ و صحبہ وبارک وسلم صلاۃ و سلاما علیک یا سیدی یا حبیبی یا طبیبی یا رسول اللہ صلی اللہ تعالی علیہ وسلم۔ گزشتہ جمعہ کچھ اہم باتیں والدین کے مقام و مرتبے کے حوالے سے ہم نے سمجھنے کی کوشش کی تھی، اور چونکہ یہ موضوع اور یہ ٹاپک اتنا وائڈ ہے کہ اس کے اوپر اگر کئی ہفتوں تک ہم بات کریں تو یہ بات چلتی رہے گی۔ اللہ تبارک و تعالیٰ نے ہم انسانوں پر بہت سے احسانات فرمائے ہیں اور بہت سی نعمتیں عطا فرمائی ہیں۔ ان نعمتوں میں جو بڑی نعمتیں ہیں وہ کچھ ایسی ہیں کہ جن کا بدل نہیں ہو سکتا ہے۔ Some of the favors that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done upon you and I, if you look at some of them, there is no replacement for those favors. For example, for many of us, for you and I, money could be a factor, one of the ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It brings, happiness, joy to many of us. But again, if you lose the money, there will be replacement for it. You can replace it with more money. Work harder, you get more money. But then you have certain ni'am. اپنی اولاد کو بھی بندہ جب کھوتا ہے، اولاد مر جاتی ہے، تو پھر دوسری اولاد آ سکتی ہے، یہ ممکن ہے۔ It is possible that if you lose a child, there is possibility that Allah will bless you with another child. But one ni'mat and one favor is such that once they are gone, there is no replacement for that. Our parents, our father and mother, they are one of the greatest ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that there is no replacement for them in this dunya. No matter what a person does after his father passes away, after the mother passes away, he cannot find anyone who can replace them. You can't find any other woman who have given you birth. It is only one. You cannot find another man who became the mean for you to come in this dunya, and that is your father. There is no replacement. And if you look in terms of how much Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed them in several ways. As a Muslim, we believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Khaliq and creator. Allah is the one who created everything, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who creates everything. And yet our creation, you and I, the way we came in this dunya was quite different. Not directly. It was via our parents. Allah chose them to show His might and to show His qudrat, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have this ability to give human and mankind this ability to bring a child in this dunya. Parents became the mean for you to come in this dunya. So you owe them for your own life and existence, that you came in this dunya because of them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Kareem and is very kind. The most kind in the world. There is no one but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no one more than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who shows the kindness. But again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave a portion of that kindness to our parents. What sort of kindness they hold for you and I? The kindness they hold for you and I is parents, they don't mind to lose their sleep. They don't mind to lose their rest to make sure that you have ate, you have rested properly. Parents would take shortcuts in terms of themselves, spending on themselves. But they will make sure that the child, my son, my daughter, they have everything possibly they need. That's what parents are, and that's their kindness. We believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Hafiz, and He is the protector. In this dunya, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He made our parents our protector. They became the mean for our protection. When we were small, when we couldn't speak, it was them who looked after us and protected us from everything which we did not understand that this is not right for me. And not only when you were young, when you become older, when you think you can have your own choices and you can choose what you want, even then parents are there to guide you. Your parents will tell you that do not indulge yourself in these things. Now pick up the Holy Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has mentioned do's and don'ts, that do these things and don't do these things. Why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is guiding us after creating us? Because He doesn't want you and I to fall into Jahannam and hellfire. Likewise, when our parents, they guide us and they tell us to do something and not to do something because they know that if my son does this, he will be in trouble. They protect you in this dunya. Allah is Hafiz. Allah gave a little bit of that, portion to our parents, and they protect us throughout the life. Look at the life of animals. Animals usually they hunt and kill. Those who are predators, they kill. But meanwhile, if you look at the predators, when they are preying on an animal and when they attack, they use the same mouth and they kill them. And when they are trying to take their children from A to B, their offsprings from A to B, they use the same mouth, but they don't kill them. They merely take them from one place to another place using the same mouth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts this raham, this mercy in the heart and mind of the parents. We believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ghafoor and most forgiving. Have you ever thought about it, that how forgiving your parents are? You must have done so many things to offend them. But there is not a single day when they tell you, today there is no food for you because you didn't listen to me. Today you won't get anything because you were talking over me. This doesn't usually happen. They may be upset for a bit. As soon as it's time to feed you, they will give you the food. Your mother will cook. She will cook for you because Allah has given that kindness in her heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Sattar. He covers our uyub and our shortcomings. Imagine the way we live our life, secret life or private life, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it apparent in front of people. If one day everything becomes apparent, what would happen to our izzat and our honor? Likewise, Allah has given this ability to our parents, that they always try and cover our shortcomings, so we do not become disrespected in this society. Allah has given these abilities to them. But many of the times we are so busy, we cannot ponder upon what they do for us. What they do for you and I, we tend to turn our faces and eyes away from there. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, the importance of making your parents happy, looking after them, taking care of your parents, how important it is. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam in Bukhari Sharif, Imam Bukhari, he quotes this hadith. Hazrat Abdullah ibn Amr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he says that قال رجل للنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, a man said to Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, Ujahidu, Ya Rasulullah, shall I participate in the battle and jihad? Should I go for jihad? Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam questioned him, Laka abawani, do you have parents? Now today, we all are busy with jobs and everything that we have to do. Here a Sahabi is talking about jihad and a battle which is Islamic duty. Not the duty to make money, the duty to defend Islam. So he questioned to Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam that if you give me the permission, shall I participate in jihad? Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said, Laka abawani, do you have parents? Qala na'am. The person replied, yes, Ya Rasulullah, I have parents. Then what did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say? Qala fafihima fajahid. Do jihad for their benefit. Mean go look after them, that is your jihad. Make them happy, and that way you will make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala happy. Now imagine how important jihad is. One of the qualities of believers that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has described in the Holy Quran are those people who go to fight for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, he said to the Sahabi, you have parents, go look after them, that is your jihad. Jahid fihima. There is a narration that I would like to share with you in a book which is about the Ashab. Isaba fi Tamiz Sahaba. In that book, the writer says, in the time of Hazrat Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, a Sahabi whose name was Umayyah radiyallahu anhu. This was in the time of Hazrat Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu's Khilafat. A Sahabi whose name was Umayyah, he was very old, he had reached to his old age, and he had also lost his eyesight. He had a son, and his son's name was Ka'ab ibn Umayyah. Now Ka'ab was the one who used to look after his father. All the time he used to serve to his father. But once a battle was taking place far away from Madinatul Munawwara. Now Ka'ab, the son of Umayyah, he decided to participate in the battle for the jihad. Now obviously because he was going for jihad, Umayyah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu did not stop him. He did not say, you don't go, stay here. So he thought, Umayyah thought, I will have sabr, patience, and my son can participate in the battle. Now a few days passed. Umayyah was missing his son, and he was in need of him to look after him. Now he goes to Hazrat Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala. Hazrat Umayyah, the old Sahabi who was blind, he visited Hazrat Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, because Hazrat Umar was the Amirul Mu'mineen, and he mentioned what he was going through. He said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, I'm old, I've lost my eyesight. My son Ka'ab used to look after me, but today I'm missing him dearly. He is far away, battling for Islam in jihad. Now Hazrat Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, immediately he called Ka'ab ibn Umayyah back to Madinatul Munawwara. Now when Ka'ab, he came back to Madinatul Munawwara, he went to Masjid al-Nabawi first, before he visited his father, he went to Masjid Nabawi to speak to Hazrat Umar ibn Khattab. That why was he called back to Madinatul Munawwara. Hazrat Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, एक मरतबा दुरूद शरीफ पढ़ लें. अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि व सल्लिम व बारिक अला सय्यिदिना व शफीइना मौलाना मुहम्मद व आलिहि व सहबिहि व बारिक व सल्लिम. Now, when he reached Masjid Nabawi, Hazrat Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he was sitting there. And he said, Ka'b, the reason I've called you, because your father is in need of you. Your father needs you, and therefore I've called you back from the jihad. And then Hazrat Umar asked him that how do you look after your father? What do you do for him that he is in need of you today and he wants you back from jihad? Now Hazrat Ka'b radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he replied, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, I look after my father as any son would do. Any son, whatever he can do to look after the father, I do the same. Now Hazrat Umar said, can you show me how do you look after your father? Hazrat Ka'b radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, Hazrat Umayyah hadn't come to masjid yet. He was still at his home. Now Hazrat Umar said to Ka'b, how do you look after your father? Now Hazrat Ka'b, he went to a she camel and he milked her. Okay, and he got the milk in a bowl. Then his father comes. Hazrat Umar said, do not say anything. Let your father sit. When he is sitting, just present the milk in his hand. He couldn't see. His father Umayyah couldn't see. So Ka'b, when his father came very quietly, he went and he gave the milk. Now Hazrat Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he asked Hazrat Umayyah, the blind Sahabi, and Umayyah, do you know who gave you the milk? Umayyah said, I don't know who gave me the milk, but I can smell my son Ka'b. You know, today, the mindset we have is, if I find someone to look after my father, or my mother, a maid or a carer, I'm fulfilling the duty and I'm acting upon the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is not the point. Yes, you fulfilling their physical needs. Physically, if they need to be cleaned or have a shower, that carer can fulfill that duty. If they need to be fed, a carer or a person who brings tiffin for your parents, he can tick that box. What about that emotional support your parents need from you? What about when they need to talk to you or to see you and you are not there? What about when they miss you and you can't even speak to them because you are busy? So ticking the box, everybody can do. What Sahabi did here and what his father, the way his father replied, his father showed that how happy his heart became when he could smell his son. Today, many of us, if you have lost your parents, may Allah forgive them and grant them Jannatul Firdaus. When was the last time we went to Qabristan and prayed Fatiha, visited their graves? How often we have been on holidays? Many of us probably have been years we haven't been to Qabristan. Our parents passed away. They're gone. No, this is the connection that in this dunya, the emotional connection you should have and emotional support you should give them. If that carer is just ticking the boxes, yes, physical needs would be fulfilled. But the joy that parents feel when you bring a cup of tea for them, when you bring a cup of water for them, as a son, as a daughter, when they see you doing that, that makes them happy. When a carer gives a bath, do you think they won't be missing you? When a carer brings a tiffin, do you think they won't be missing you? That what you are eating, not that they want the same food, they just want to see you, that my son is okay, my daughter is okay. But this society has turned us into something else. Then we have too many complaints. We complain there is no blessings in my rizq. I cannot support my parents. We have many youth and this is not hidden. And if this hurts, you need to think about it. whether you are doing right or wrong. We have many youth. And today they are earning. They have enough money. They have savings. And they're living with their parents, and yet they are not sharing any financial burden. This is unfair. The reason is your parents fed you and raised you and sheltered you for the whole life. Now you are earning and still you are depending on your parents. You're still living in their house, yet you can spend to go on holidays. You can spend for your own luxuries. You can spend to buy the new goods and whatever comes out. But when it comes to spending on your parents, you turn around and say they have enough money. It is not about spending your money. It is about making them happy. That is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He states in the Holy Quran, that treat them well. How do you treat them well? Not by going home and eating, not just by sleeping in their houses, and then for the rest of the day they have no idea where my son or where my daughter is. That's not the point. Now we complain there is no blessings in my rizq. You want blessings in your rizq, and you want barakat in your life and age. Listen to this hadith of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, and I will conclude on this. Hazrat Sayyidina Anas ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala, who is the narrator of this hadith, and Musnad Ahmad, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, he quotes this hadith. He says, Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam stated, Man ahabba an yumidda lahu fi umrihi wa yazdada lahu fi rizqihi falyabarra walidayhi. Any of you who wish to have blessings in your sustenance, any of you who wish to have barakat in your rozi and rizq, and any of you who wish to have the blessings in your age, in your life, what do you need to do? فَلْيَبَرَّ بِوَالِدَيْهِ. Then he should look after his parents and be good to them. Be dutiful to your parents. As I mentioned last Friday, that most of us, we are living in a society where, many of us, we're living in a society where we find it easy to fulfill the duty towards our friends. We find it easy to fulfill the duty towards every single person. But when it comes to your parents, they come at the bottom of the list. If this is the way we are going to live, then we will have complaints about our sustenance, no barakat in it. If this is the way we are going to live, then we will have complaints in our lives, having no satisfaction and no peace. You want it, then go back, look after your parents, treat them well, keep them happy, give them emotional support. They don't only need your money. Money is the least that they would want. They want you to be with them. They want you to be close to them. And we hope that one day we find this path, that our parents are happy with us when they depart from this dunya. Because once they are gone, as I mentioned at the beginning, that there is no replacement of your parents. Your money can be replaced. A person loses a wife, another woman. People find a person who loses a child, Allah will give him another one. When you lose your parents, one of them, your mother is gone, there is no another mother. Your father is gone, there is no another father. You can't find any father anywhere in the world. This is the reality, and we need to ponder upon that how much do we do for our parents and how much we need to do for them without being conditioned that if this happens, then I'll do. If that happens, then I'll do. If I find, then I'll do. If I find the time, then I'll look after them. Make the time. Make the time for your parents. And inshallah, you'll see the blessings, not only in this dunya, in your rizq and in your life, in the hereafter as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise you with siddiqeen and salihin. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you and I the ability to act upon the farameen and the ahadith of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. Wa ma alayna illa al-balagh. Assalamu alaikum.